MRI situation, just so you guys are clear on that too. All right, go ahead, Rick.
Thanks, Coach. All right, real quickly on the Kyle Van Noy situation. You know, we respect the Ravens. We respect our medical staff. I respect Kyle as a player, and I'm pretty upset that he was upset. And I've talked at length with their doctors and then actually exchanged text messages with John Harbaugh to clear the air. Just a couple points are, one is it's not mandated in the NFL to have an ophthalmologist or a dentist in the stands. We do that as a courtesy to both teams. So it's not mandated by the NFL or the NFLPA. The second thing is, when he went down, I went out there because I thought he had a head or neck injury, and I waited for them. I asked their physician whether they needed an ophthalmologist. They didn't at the time. They evaluated him, and then when they wanted an ophthalmologist, we made the phone call up into the stands and got the ophthalmologist out of the locker room in 12 minutes. So there was a 12-minute time frame when we were alerted to him. So I'm sorry that he was upset, and I think we've worked it out with the Ravens through Coach and I, and both organizations respect the process. As far as Hollywood goes, you know, he was hurt on August the 10th, and he had an injury that we've seen before. It was reduced, not surgically reduced, but reduced in Jacksonville. And the protocol is that you look at that again in a week to make sure it's still in place, and it was. And then he was doing great in rehab. He was having no pain. We were discussing return to play opportunities, but we had one last check of another image to do at 3 weeks from 4 weeks from the injury, 3 weeks from the last MRI, and it looked like the bone had moved. So we consulted with 3 or 4 physicians in the country and then sent him out to Vail to a specialist. And everybody involved felt like it was a little too risky for him to play without having this operated on. So he's been fixed, or he'll be fixed on Monday in Vail, Colorado, and then we'll go from there. There's obviously no timelines because we don't know yet. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Really, Hollywood's the only injured player that I'd mentioned. Everybody else practiced today and did a nice job with it. And listen, our thoughts and prayers were with Hollywood. He's a great kid, well, I'll tell you. And nobody wanted to do this more than he did. So our hearts go out to him. But he'll get himself back and ready to go down the road here whenever that time is. We don't know exactly how long that'll be, but it does take a pretty extended amount of time to take place. Other than that, listen, we look forward to playing the Bengals. Just that challenge of playing a good football team. And just like we felt with the Ravens, we know you got to play 4 quarters against these guys. They're very well coached. Every game we've had has come right down to the end. So our guys have prepared themselves that way. And so that's what we look forward, obviously, to bringing them in here to GEH Field at Arrowhead one more time. So anyways, with that, time yours.
Andy, do you see any realistic scenario where Hollywood could come back and play for you this season?
Yeah, you know, Adam, the reason we say it is everybody's a little different. And this thing, there are not a lot of these that we have information on. So we just gotta write it out and see how long it takes. It's not going to be weeks. More like months, and so we'll see where that takes us in this process. But that's the information we have. But we're just gonna have to hold tight on that.
Do you feel like you have enough at wide receiver without him, or maybe do you feel like a need? Maybe you got to look around for something.
Yeah, so we'd love to have him. I think you know that. But on the other hand, I think we've got some good guys. Yeah, at that spot, we've got some depth there, and feel good about that. Yeah.
Andy, can you speak to just it seemed like to us observing that Hollywood had a really good training camp, that it seemed like he was meshing in pretty well. Can you speak to what you were seeing out of him before this injury?
Yeah, no, listen, he did. He had a tremendous training camp, and he was as excited as we were to get him in there. So, but listen, things happen in this sport. I mean, it was kind of a freak thing. I mean, it's almost ridiculous. It happened to Tyreek and him, same place. They had the same docs, and so next time we play down there, I'm not going to use any receivers.
Hey guys, thanks, Coach.
All right, good. Thank you.
What's going on?
How quickly did this all come together with the contract?
I think they took care of it all last week, so
Pretty quick.
very quickly, yeah.
You feel like there's any part of your game that has made significant improvements over the last year or so?
Yeah, I mean, I think every aspect, and I'm still growing and learning and getting better. I don't think anyone's perfect. You know, there's a lot of areas that we always have to work and improve on. But, you know, being more immersed in this offense, learning under Pat, Kels, all these other guys I've been fortunate enough to play with, you know, really hats off to every single one of my teammates this past 3 years. It's, you know, really a huge reason, you know, why we've been so successful is just the camaraderie in the locker room, and it's just really cool to be around such a great group of guys.
Before the contract talk came up, were you thinking maybe you're going to have to move on at the end of the year, or what were your thoughts about the future here?
Honestly, I mean, we were just kind of taking it day by day, not trying to look too far ahead. So I knew I was playing in Kansas City this year, and I was looking forward to it.
Reid said before the season that Chiefs were planning on using you more in the offense and maybe taking away a few special team snaps. Is that something that they discussed with you, or what was your kind of interpretation of what he was saying?
No, I mean, I'm just out here having fun with my boys. Whatever my coaches need me to do, I'm willing to do it. You know, I give huge credit to Coach Tobe over the past 3 years, putting me in positions to be successful. You know, Coach Tom and all the other coaches we have, you know. So whatever they need me to do is what I do, and I have a ton of fun doing it.
No, what did it mean to you to have the franchise invest in you and recognize the work that you put in?
I'm extremely grateful. You know, I can't thank God enough. I can't thank Clark Hunt and the Hunt family enough, this organization, front office, coaches, teammates, just really everybody that I've been fortunate enough to be in contact with these past 3 years, play with. It's just an absolute blessing, and I'm just super grateful that I'm back here for the foreseeable future.
No, I know you caught a bunch of passes when you were at Duke, but do you feel like you've come farther in your pro career as a receiver maybe than as a blocker? Is that a fair thing to say?
Yeah. You know, Duke was a lot of fun, and the NFL was a completely different game. You know, it is a lot different. You know, there's a lot of aspects of my game that I needed to work on, and especially here in Kansas City. I mean, we throw the ball a lot, so you know, practicing, going out there, working with Pat and those other guys on the route concepts and staying in tune with that and progressing in that as my career has gone on has been super important. I'm just, you know, grateful to be in a system that, you know, loves throwing tight ends out there and, you know, has fun doing it. So whatever position we're in as a tight end on the field, I think the guys are excited about it. We thank Coach Reid every day for the amount of, you know, 2-3 tight end sets that we're fortunate enough to play with. So all that's great, and, you know, that's just a part of kind of the DNA what we got here in Kansas City.
Let's do a few more, guys.
Yeah, and I know your teammate Hollywood's going to be dealing with surgery and an injury and everything. Over the years of playing football, if you've had an injury, what's been the toughest part mentally to kind of have to work through to get back on the field?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, but, you know, we just, you know, I pray to God, and, you know, you just keep working the hardest that you can with the trainers, and you just go through the process that they expect you to go through.
Hey, I understand you've done a lot of community service work this off-season. Just curious about what you've been doing off the field.
Yeah, you know, we do a lot with the local churches that I'm a part of, New Life City Church downtown, St. John Paul. My wife is Catholic, so we go out there and just doing work within that community. I'm a type 1 diabetic, so making sure I'm doing work for the great type 1 diabetes community that we have here in Kansas City. It always warms my heart seeing type 1s at the games and supporting me and my teammates. And then my wife actually helps work with Mocan Border Collie Rescue, where, you know, they help raise awareness for border collies that need homes, need foster homes, transporting dogs. So I love that aspect that, you know, she's working with too. So just trying to stay involved in an absolutely phenomenal community in Kansas City is super important, and I'm just grateful to be a part of such an amazing community.
Let's go next one.
No, I realize it's early in the season, but Cincinnati, you guys have seen them so much over the last few years. Do they offer anything sort of different? Does it get you a little bit more hyped up? Just the fact that you guys have seen them so much over the years?
Yeah, I mean, it's a phenomenal team. You guys know that. Everybody knows that. Their defense is absolutely incredible. Their front D line, especially those edge rushers, are great. You know, we got a work cut out for us there. The linebackers have been there for 3-4 years now together. Back end wise, they're extremely good. So they present a lot of challenges, and we're really looking forward to it. And we understand that they're a phenomenal team, and you know, we got to go on there and work our tail off to beat them.
All good? Thanks, guys.
Thanks, no, appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys.